We are doing a social media addiction series, and this topic is very, very interesting, especially at such a time and in this era. You can't afford to miss the nuggets of wisdom that we are sharing with you, and we just hope that you'll become a better person who is able to strike a balance between using social media and also your real life, so that you become productive and you are able to also enjoy the privilege of technology as well. Now, social media addiction, we said before, can also lead to depression. Yes, apart from the other causes and other factors that can make someone get into depression, social media addiction is added on that list. And we are delving deeper to just get to understand why and how and what are those things that can make someone so addicted to a gadget until they get into depression. Today, I want us to talk about two other points that contribute to someone getting into depression as a result of social media addiction. Last time, we mentioned constant comparison, and we also mentioned about reduced real life connection, okay? And today, I want to talk about very, very key points as well. Number 3 is dopamine crash. Okay, if you have been following our episodes keenly, I'm sure there is one of the videos, I think the first one or the second, where we talked about the dopamine chemical. This is a brain chemical that makes someone feel good. In other words, you can call it a feel good chemical, okay? And this dopamine chemical becomes functional when it's exposed to some kind of things that make it feel good or trigger it to feel good. Things like the good comments that we get online, the likes, the views, a lot of positivity that happens online, okay? But when now it reaches a point where it crashes, then now there comes an issue. And how does this come to be? When this dopamine chemical is not fed with the pleasure that it craves for time and over time, then you get a crash and you feel some kind of emotional sadness. You become empty kidogo, you become restless, anxious, and all that kind of thing, okay? So you are used to posting something online and then boom, you are getting so many views, you're getting so many likes, you're getting so many positive comments, people are admiring you, all the attention. If you are in a room or in a hall, then all the attention will just be on you. So that feeling good, that aspect of, pleasure, and you're like, wow, kumbe mi niko tu hivo, I'm all that, you feel good. You are feeding that chemical. You are feeding that feel-good chemical that is produced from the brain. So now your system is inclined to that, pleasure all the time. So every time you go online, already ni kama inajireset haraka, inaanza kusikia vizuri hata kabla you get even seeing what people are saying and all that. But when it comes to a time, or there comes a time when you post something, because people on social media, they're just people, and we have seen it all out there. One time you post something and hell just breaks loose. Nobody's saying anything positive about you. Nobody's telling you anything nice. Nobody's appreciating you. And all of a sudden, all the feeling good, all the pleasure that you used to experience before kind of just comes crumbling down. And you feel like now the world has come to an end. Okay? To some people, it will be like, sini sawa. Si hawakujui, so why do you care? But it's a very small thing that really affects people. And then now you start feeling some kind of sadness. You start feeling some kind of emptiness. You start feeling some kind of restlessness out of nowhere. And then unashinda hapo, ukijihurumia, ukifeel vibaya because of you have not gotten the attention that you are used to. And so if you continue that way, within no time, you find that because ulikuwa umejizoesha a certain way and getting a certain kind of attention, now you start feeling bad. Your anxiety levels zinapanda, your restlessness zinapanda, and without knowing, you get yourself into depression very slowly. Another example could be maybe you lose your gadget, okay? And you don't have money to get another gadget, okay? So you feel like you're sick. There's a time when I was still in school, a friend of mine lost her phone. And she was so sick, she lost her appetite, she couldn't eat, just because her phone was lost. And I was like, come on, girl. Sisi mutanunua ingine. See, it's just a month's time and then you get another phone. She's like, but sasa nita survive aje? I'm like, really? There are things that people survive on: water, food, and oxygen. Now you've made your phone part of the priorities. Without it, you can't survive. And she was really at a very bad state, and she lost her appetite. Even her social life kind of was shaken a bit just because she lost her gadget. Now, those are some of the things that happen when you experience dopamine crash. You're not feeling that pleasure anymore, and it becomes an issue. And that can lead you slowly into depression without knowing, if you don't watch out. Another one is, and the last one is, sleep interruption or sleep disruption, okay? I'm sure you've heard people say, if you don't get enough sleep, sleep is very healthy for any human being on this earth. If you don't get enough sleep, it will affect your mood emotionally. You'll also be affected, and your mental health will also be affected big time. So because you're glued to your screens all the time, before you sleep uko kwa simu, unamka katikati ya usiku, you want to check your phone, okay? Mchana ukiamka, you're just on your phone. It will affect your mental health big time. And once your mental health is affected, then what else do you expect? If you experience any form of challenge, you'll not have the capacity to handle. And that can lead you into depression very, very quick and very, very fast. So let us watch out on how we handle those things, so that we guard ourselves against getting into depression just because we can't have a healthy lifestyle or a healthy usage of our gadgets. If this video has been of value to you, feel free to share with your friends, with your loved ones, and invite them also to this platform and community so that we grow ourselves together and become better. See you in our next.